Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. And I know I've been very irregular and I should have recorded and posted this video way earlier, but I think I was delaying and procrastinating because I did not want to relive that moment by talking about it. But also I want to finish this cancer series that I've started. I want to finish what I've started, so yes, I will try to complete my cancer story, which is never ending. And I'm so scared that before I end this series something bad might happen again. Like, I hope not, but can never be sure. But anyway, in my previous video I spoke about how I got parosmia throughout my cancer journey, and many people don't know about parosmia, so if you haven't watched that video, please do. I will link it somewhere here, and it's very informative, and I think you will understand my situation way more better because I had to deal with parosmia and cancer at the same time, so it was a lot. So yeah, so here we go. In this video we'll be talking about my diagnosis, and I will try to finish this in two parts, the diagnosis and the surgery, because I have other things also to talk about. I'll give you my health update, currently what's going on with my life and everything else, and also I will talk about my mental health and other things. I will also put a vlog kind of a video for my jaw situation. Yeah, so stay tuned for that, and I promise to be consistent this time. So here we go. It started in December 2021. I was out of station and I'd gone to my friend's place because she was getting married and everything. So I told her that I think I have a lump, but then I did not pay so much attention to it because I was enjoying myself. And then I came back home and I did not pay too much attention. That was like January 2022 when I came back, and then I had to go to another wedding. So I told someone there that I have a lump in my breast, and she told me that I think you should get it tested as soon as possible. And I was thinking to myself that I think it's high time I should take it seriously, because I was in such a denial and I did not want it to be cancer, so I was delaying it. But I finally did. I went to the gynecologist first. So they were examining me, and then they asked me that I should go for an FNAC test. I was like, okay, let's do it. So FNAC is not like biopsy. It's sort of biopsy, but instead of taking out your tissue, they just take out some blood samples from the affected part. So I did the FNAC test, and I was called to the lab because they wanted to do my cancer history. And the moment I saw the lab technicians' faces, I knew that I had cancer. I could tell because they were like so chaotic and was so interested in to knowing what happened. So I was known as the osteosarcoma girl. So then after that they sent me to the oncology department, and then they wanted to confirm, so they did a biopsy and they confirmed that I had breast cancer. So the news was broken to me by a junior doctor who was not even that experienced on how to tell your patient that they have cancer. So he just simply said, yeah, you have cancer. And I was taken aback, and though somewhere I knew, but still I was hoping that it was not. And then I started crying. I was mortified, and as I told you, I was on the initial stage of parosmia as well at the same time, because my parosmia started on 31st January and I got the news on 25th of February. So it was already a month since I got parosmia, and it was a lot to take in, the cancer news, the parosmia and all of that. So much was going on in my head, the disappointment, the embarrassment, the anger, the feeling of being a burden to my family all over again. Everything was taking over my head, having this flashback of my previous cancer as a child, and I said I will not go through that all over again, and I will not go for treatment. Thank you very much. But I did. Okay, so going back to my gynecology appointment, when they were examining my breast, so they were examining other parts also. So one junior doctor, she felt something on my stomach. It's difficult to feel because it was the back of my stomach, but she felt that, she said something is wrong. Thank God for her. Because of that, I was sent for a CT scan, so a whole body CT scan, and then they found out that I had a tumor there. Yes, so after that I was sent for another biopsy for my stomach, and hold and behold, I had cancer in my retroperitoneal region. Now that is somewhere behind the abdomen. I was having symptoms for that cancer for about 4 to 5 years, I think, because I think when I was in college I used to get this pain around my hip area. It was really bad, and it was on and off, and I only thought that it was because of my bone surgery as a child, and that's what the other doctors also told me, that maybe it's because of the bone. They kept on giving me painkillers. I had painkillers for 4 to 5 years, to the point that painkillers like tramadol, which is very strong, stopped working on me. I was resistant to any kind of medication. Nothing worked on me anymore. Painkillers were basically like candies for me. I just had them like nobody's business. And then I found out that the abdomen cancer was pretty aggressive. All this information, parosmia, breast cancer, abdomen cancer, was so much to just accept them. Like, are you kidding me? Do I have all of this? Why me? All of these questions in my head. I was so devastated with all these information. Okay, I will explain you something. Now, my cancer was not a relapse or a recurrence. Now, how do I explain this is that when you have a relapse or a recurring cancer, what happens is, like, if I had osteosarcoma on my leg, that was a bone cancer, and if that spread to my breast, then the breast cancer would also be known as bone cancer or osteosarcoma, because it is of the same type of cancer that has spread from one place to another. But in my case, I had all different cancers. Like in my breast it was a different cancer, in my stomach it was a different cancer. It was not the same. So I had breast carcinoma in my breast, and I had leiomyosarcoma in my abdomen or my retroperitoneal part. So I did not have a recurrent cancer or a relapse. In fact, I had a second and a third cancer at the same time. I also have a reason why that happened to me, because I have a genetic condition where one of my cells is mutated, and that's why it forms cancer instead of defending the cancer. So that's about how I can explain as briefly as possible, because if I say in other words, it'll be too medical for anyone to understand, even for me. So knowing all of this, I just thought one thing, that all my dreams were crashing down with me. Somewhere I did not want to not live anymore, because who doesn't want to? They all want to live. I never wanted the treatment to happen at all, let alone happen in Shillong. So in my hometown, I did not trust the doctors, to be honest. Not because they are incompetent or something like that, but I think fate plays a very important role when you are in such a situation. And I had full faith in Vellore, because I beat cancer there once, and I felt like that I could do that again somewhere in the back of my head, even though I was in a lot of pain and sadness and anger, all of that. But I was like, if I do go for treatment, I will not do it in my hometown. I want to go to Vellore, because I believed that I would get better there. So my parents somehow took me there again, and then I met with the doctor there. They asked for my samples from Shillong, then I had to get them sent there, and they tested it again, and then they confirmed that I had breast carcinoma and leiomyosarcoma. I can't say that word, it's very hard. Anyway, so I had these two cancers. Now in Shillong, the thing is that we don't have PET CT scan. If anyone is watching this video, we need PET CT scan. Shillong, come on, it's high time, because that's the first step into getting a proper diagnosis. So yeah, so we don't have PET CT scan, so they made me do a PET CT scan there. Now how PET CT scan is different from a normal CT scan is that in PET CT scan they inject a radioactive substance in your body, so that will help you see the marks or the active cells way more clearly. That's the difference. In CT scan you can only see that if there's a tumor or something like that, but you cannot see if the cells are active or not. That's a gist. I don't know if I'm wrong, but that's what I heard or read. I did a PET CT scan, and then I found out that I don't only have breast cancer, stomach cancer. I have an active cell in my jaw, in my mandible, which is the bone here. Yeah, I was like 3 cancers. What the hell? No, wait, not 3. I also had something in my iliac bone here, which is still now not treated, still there. After that, the doctor started with my chemotherapy. They said after my chemotherapy they will schedule a surgery, not a surgery, some surgeries. And then I had a 4 cycle of gemcitabine and docetaxel. It's a combination chemo, and I had 4 rounds in each cycle. And if you don't understand the difference between cycles and rounds, please watch this video. I've explained myself here, so I don't want to go through that all over again. After that, I had another 3 cycles of another combination chemo, which was carboplatin and PLT. I had to have that for 4 cycles, but I only had 3 cycles. Why? Because towards the end my blood counts were bad. Now let me tell you one thing. When I had the first 4 chemos, I did lose my hair and it started falling down like crazy, so I had to shave it off and all of that. But when I had the second time, my hair was actually growing at the same time when I was going through chemo. So I was really scared at that time. I was like, what if the chemos are working? Why is my hair not falling? Then I went to the doctor and asked this question to him, and I was like, why is my hair not falling instead it's growing? So it's like, I think your body is so used to chemo. Now the chemo is only targeting the affected cells and not the other cells. Was I immune to chemo? I guess. Hope not, because the chemo is supposed to work for me. So yeah, then after that I was scheduled for surgery. Now about chemo, the first 4 cycles which I had with gemcitabine and docetaxel, it was harsh. It was so bad. I had so many side effects: body ache, nausea, and especially the mouth ulcer was horrible, because anyways I was not eating anything because of my smell problem, and then the mouth ulcer made it worse. The fact that I was only living on protein powder, like, ensure, not advertising it, don't take it without consulting a nutritionist, but yes, I was only living on that, and everything was worse because of the mouth ulcer, that I couldn't even drink Ensure because the inner lining of my mouth was so painful. Like, I had to go for chemo every week, so I would recover from that first week. By the time I recover, I had to go on for another chemo, so I did not get time to recover. Only I just kept on going for next chemo, so it was hard. It was so rough. And the fact that nobody saw that phase of my life, because obviously it was just me and my mom. I was crying all day, all night, of pain, of being miserable the whole day. Even then, I used to get up when I start recovering, even a little bit. I get up and I feel like I should cook something. Even with my nose plug on, I would go to the kitchen. I would make something for my mom, because I felt so bad for her, because she was adjusting to my eating habits at that time, because I couldn't eat anything. So she avoided eating onion, garlic, everything because of me, and she was in full vegetarian mode. And my mom loves to eat meat. Okay, a sacrifice she made for me, I'm so grateful for it. But I didn't want her to. I wanna cry. Wait. But on my second set of chemo, the 3 cycle one, I was so much better then. I came back home for my chemo, and I used to be in pain just for the first 2 days, and I was fine. And that was, at its case, I did not have to go for chemo every other week. I only had to go for each month. So I was so much better at that time, and I was so much happier and healthier at that time. I started to used to the smell thing, and I could eat a little bit, not too much, but a little bit. Still, I was very thin, and now I'm gaining so much weight. I'm so fat, and I love it. I'm loving this phase of my life. Touch wood. As I said, the second set of the chemo was so much more tolerable, and I was really happy at that time. This is like the end of my diagnosis. I don't want to keep it too long. That's it. I got 3 cancers at the same time. So this is it for this video. I will talk about my surgery part of the story in my next video, and if you want to know more about my story, then do subscribe to my channel and Let's empower each other and overcome any obstacles and live our best lives while we can. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video. Bye.